Welcome to Football Scientific. It is time for our 2025 Christmas Eve episode. We're going to dig into some NFL roster moves that were made today. We're going to talk about the 3 Christmas games on tomorrow. For some reason, the NFL thinks Christmas is Thanksgiving now. They've taken over Christmas with some crappy games. I think one of them might be interesting. The rest are pretty crappy. But here we go. We're going to break this down. I am joined by my guest host, Tired Tiger. Tired Tiger here, ready to go. So, here's the show. First, we're going to talk about some NFL roster moves. We're going to talk about the NFL games tomorrow that are on Christmas, which makes everyone uncomfortable. And then we're going to talk about some CFL roster moves that were made late yesterday after we made our episode. And then on TikTok, we're going to release our scouting report for the Hawaii Bowl, which is played tonight at 8 p.m. So it should be pretty fun. This should be a quick and easy Christmas Eve special. Do you agree, Professor? I do agree. I am Aaron Sauter, Professor of Football Science. You can read my work on footballanalysis1.com, CFLnewshub.com, and UFLnewshub.com. I just got done writing my power rankings heading into week 17 of the NFL season for every NFL team. So to read that, it'll be published tomorrow morning at 7:30. A Christmas special, of course. If you read that article, you'll have a good idea who's going to win these games this week, this Christmas week, okay, including tomorrow's games. But we're going to go through our, like I said, our roster moves and then our predictions and betting guide for these games tomorrow. Tiger, are you ready to go? Almost. I'm almost ready to go. Professor, you look tired. You look tired and then you look like you're tired. Okay, and basically, I think you need to have some W energy. W energy. Okay, we get some W energy. Here it is. W energy. W energy. Okay. What should I do with this? You should drink it. Drink it. The whole thing. No, just a sip. We don't want to have this show go off the rails. It's Christmas Eve. You gotta go to bed sometime so Santa can come and give us presents. Come on, seriously. You should have already known that. We want the presents, Santa. Do you believe in Santa? Yes, I believe in Santa. Seriously. Don't even ask that question. That's crazy. All right, let's drink some W together. I'll go first. Okay, here, let's go first. Let's pop the top. Boop. Okay, and then you can have the first swig. Okay. That is some amazing W energy. I feel so energetic, but I don't feel overwhelmed by my energy. I don't feel jittery or angsty, which is, a lot of energy drinks do. They make you feel jittery. Like Alani makes you feel like you're having a stroke. I don't want to have a stroke. I don't even have a heart. How am I going to have a dang stroke? Seriously. Okay, well, you got to pick up your script. And then let's break it down. It's Christmas Eve, 2025. All right, here we go. Let's break it down. I gotta pick the papers. You're right. I gotta pick the script. Okay, so here we go. There's some roster moves that were made heading into these games for Christmas Eve in the NFL. Minnesota Vikings have claimed quarterback Brett Rippon off waivers today. He was waived by the Colts. They picked him up. They need a quarterback. They're starting Max Prosper. I've never seen really Brett Rippon make any starts in the NFL, so just adding more numbers to the situation. I don't know if he's any better, really. No one knows if he's any better. New York Jets, they placed quarterback Justin Fields on season-ending IR. He's done, which clears the way for Brady Cook to keep on cooking for the Jets. He's been sacked. He got sacked 8 times last week. That's not much of a cook. Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen is experienced. He's missing some time practice with a right foot injury, but he says he's definitely going to play this week against the Eagles. They need to win. They have a chance to still win the AFC East and try to get a home playoff game. Honestly, if he can just be healthy, they should make a run to the Super Bowl. This is the year to do it. If they don't do it, it's going to be very disappointing. Go Bills. Let's go Buffalo. Okay. All right. Cleveland Browns, they signed offensive line Kendrick Green to their active roster off of Buffalo's practice squad. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have opened the 21-day practice window for defensive lineman Kalijah Cansey. During this 21-day window, he's available to be activated at any point in time to your active roster. Carolina Panthers have opened the 21-day window for offensive guard Robert Hunt, and I could see them adding him. They have 21 days to add him to the active roster, and they could use some offensive linemen to make this push to the playoffs. Both teams need a push to the playoffs. So Tampa Bay and Carolina, they're fighting over the NFC South. Carolina wins this week. They got a good chance of taking the South. Boom. Las Vegas Raiders plays tight end Brock Bowers on season IR due to a knee injury he's been dealing with all season. Of course, they're out of the playoff hunt, so they're like, just don't hurt him long term. Let's put Brock Bowers on next season in the IR, which is probably the right thing to do. They also put safety Jeremy Chin on the IR. It's going to be season ending. He's out for 4 weeks. They only have 2 weeks left, so whatever. Washington Commanders are going to be starting Josh Johnson, giving him his first NFL start. Rookie for the Washington Commanders. Why? Because Jaden Daniels is out. Boop. And Marcus Mariota is out. Concussion. Boop. So now Josh Johnson is the next one to be sacrificed. Gets to start for the Commanders. Boom. Dallas Cowboys. They placed offensive tackle Tyler Guyton on the IR list, and they signed defensive back Corey Ballantyne from the practice squad. That'll be part of our scouting report tomorrow. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line is beat up. Okay. Minnesota Vikings have ruled out running back Jordan Mason and tight end TJ Hawkinson for tomorrow's Christmas Day matchup. I mentioned I thought these games would be real lame. Vikings are out of the playoff hunt. They're trying to knock the Lions out. I think they're set up to let the Lions win this game and still remain a playoff contender. I'm not saying I'm just saying it's going to be hard for the Vikings to win this game with Max Rossman at quarterback, no Jordan Mason, and no TJ Hawkinson. It's going to be hard to win. Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh says, hey, he's undetermined if Lamar Jackson is going to start this game this week. Basically, if the Steelers win one more game, the Ravens are toast for the playoffs, okay? And that's probably going to be the outcome. I believe the Steelers. They play the Cleveland Browns this week, so that's a favorable opponent. So the Ravens might just pack it in this week and then not worry about it. So Lamar Jackson get the back contusion. They might just let him coast and say, man, we ain't going to win this thing. They play Green Bay, though, and Green Bay is missing Jordan Love, so they could potentially win this game. Green Bay really needs to win this game to make the playoffs. The Ravens also really need to win this game to have any chance to make the playoffs. I think the Ravens are almost ready to tap out. If they don't start Lamar Jackson, I would say the Ravens are tapping out. Kansas City, it's been a rough year for them. Kansas City Chiefs plays wide receiver Rashee Rice, wide receiver Tyquan Thompson, cornerbacks Trent McDuffie and cornerback Jalen Watson on season-ending injury reserve. They're packing it in for the season. I think that they'll give Denver the win to win that division. Not give it to them. That's going to be not with much resistance. Okay, then I said we got three Christmas Day games tomorrow. So we're going to go through our predictions and betting guide for that. So Thursday at 1 p.m. tomorrow, we got Dallas Cowboys at Washington Commanders. Snooze fest. Commanders are all beat up. Dallas Cowboys defense, our offensive line's all beat up. But Dallas has all their offensive weapons, and Washington doesn't have. They got a rookie starting quarterback. So I think it's going to be a competitive game. I just think Dallas is going to win this game for sure. We have predicted Dallas wins this game 31-21. DraftKings says they'll win by 8.5 points. We say, yeah. We're going money line on the Cowboys, and we're going over 50.5 points with 52 points going over on that, okay? Next, 4:30 p.m. game, we got Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. Detroit is still fighting for the playoffs. The Vikings could, be a play spoiler here. I think the Vikings will struggle with Max Rossman at quarterback and a lot of their weapons missing. But I do think the Lions have played weird football and not necessarily great football, and the Vikings did win last week. Even with J.J. McCarthy hurt, they beat the Giants. So with that in mind, I think this is going to be a competitive game. I think the Lions win at Minnesota in an indoor stadium. They're not to play outside, y'all. 27-20 over the Vikings, and they'll take another step towards putting pressure on the Green Bay Packers to Green Bay will have to win against the Ravens to make the playoffs. Otherwise, the Lions will have a chance to overtake them next week, not this week. Okay, so Lions, I predict Lions win this game 27-20. DraftKings says Lions will win by 7.5. I say not so fast in front. I think the Vikings will compete. Their defense is still very good. I think they will force the Lions, who could not run the ball at all last week against the Steelers. They'll force them into some errors and have a chance to at least compete in this game. So if I'm putting my money on, I'm going Vikings with 7.5 points. I'm going over 43.5 or 47 points. At the end, the nightcap is 8:15. Denver Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs. A rivalry game, right? Except for Kansas City's kind of tapping out. They're pulling all their dudes and stuff. They got two quarterbacks are hurt. Patrick Mahomes, Gardner Minshew. Honestly, the Broncos would have to come and really shoot themselves in the foot to not win this game, okay? And they need this win. After getting beat by Jacksonville last week, they really need this win. They have a chance to clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC. They have a chance to clinch the AFC West. They cannot afford to lose a game to a Kansas City Chiefs team that's not as good as the Tennessee Titans right now, okay? So we predict the Broncos are going to win this game 27-10. DraftKings says they'll win by 13.5. We agree. We say 17. And we're going over 36.5 points with 37 total points. Okay, so that's our predictions for tomorrow. I will have those again sometime as shorts. And we'll have those scouting reports too tomorrow. Okay, then in the CFL, like Todd Tiger mentioned in the intro, after we got done with the show yesterday, CFL transactions were announced. So winners have been none made today. It's Christmas Eve. I didn't figure they'd make any today, but you never know. You never know. CFL transactions, Montreal Alouettes signed national linebacker Alexandre Gagne, and I saw an article about that on CFL News Hub. Check that out, especially if you're a Montreal fan. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they have added from retirement American offensive lineman Tyler Ellsbury. They released American wide receiver Cam Eccles. They released American defensive back Jamal Parker. They signed American wide receiver Jamal Banks, and they signed American quarterback Peyton Thorne. So the Blue Bombers made a bunch of moves yesterday. Okay, with that in mind, that is our Christmas Eve special for Football Scientific. We're expecting to watch these 3 NFL games tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Also, we'll watch tonight's Hawaii Bowl between Cal and Hawaii. I think it'll be a fun game. We'll be doing our scouting report for that on TikTok here once we load this video up on YouTube. That is it today for Football Scientific. Thanks for joining us. Check out footballanalysis1.com for my power rankings on the NFL teams released tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning. Check out CFLNewsHub.com for CFL news, including that Alexander Gagne being signed by the Alouettes. And then check out UFLNewsHub.com and my article about the Orlando Storm being the dominant team, because they'll have the only team with a real head coach. So everyone else is going to have a player head coach, it looks like. So, all right, with that in mind, that closes the Football Scientific Portal. This was our Christmas Eve special for 2025.